Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Movie Social. We're your hosts, Ricky and Steph.
What up, what up, what up?
And today on Movie Social, we're going to be doing a review of one of probably the anticipated movies of 2021.
Of 2020.
That was supposed to come out in 2020, but, you know, COVID has pushed everything just about back. Called A Quiet Place 2. Yeah. That movie, you know, where the first one, it was only about 81 seconds worth of talking throughout the whole film. Yeah, that movie. Yeah, it got a sequel, I know. If you'd told anybody beforehand that a movie only had 81 seconds worth of talking throughout the whole entire film and the rest was quiet, you'd have been like, huh? How did this get a sequel?
Because the first one was damn good.
But yeah, damn good. But before we get into that review, if you like what we're doing on this channel with these reviews, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share the channel and video with your family and friends. Alright, so before we really get into this, I was today years old when I realized and found out that John Cusack and Emily Blunt were married in real life.
I said that at the theater.
They married on the show and they married in real life.
I said it in the theater.
I didn't hear you. I thought you might have been asking about the movie.
No, I said, yo.
Are they married like on the movie?
No, I was like, yo, I think Emily Blunt and the director guy, who was the director and was in the original one, they're married.
Yeah. I mean, technically, he was an actor in this one too.
Yeah.
For a few.
Well, yeah, for a few minutes, yes. Well, yeah, they're married.
Yeah.
Getting them buckaroos.
That's an interesting couple, though. I mean, he's a cool person.
Yeah, listen, I like his work so far, man. Quiet Place and Quiet Place 2.
I mean, there's been a whole lot of stuff he's been in.
I mean, which one was off? I loved him in Office.
I didn't watch The Office as much. I watched some. I didn't watch the whole thing.
Mm.
Parks and Recreation, none of that. Community, didn't watch none of them like that.
Okay. I mean, to each his own, but I liked the fact that they took it back to how
right before it hit
the invasion started.
Because honestly, if they didn't do this, I would have been questioning the whole movie. Mm-hmm. Like, because we needed to know how did this happen. And I still have questions because we learned a lot in this, but the government, everything we've always seen the government portray in anything, it was basically non-existent in this.
There's some questions about the government because the government, the way they react towards a lot of stuff is like with weapons of mass destruction. And
first of all, nuke should have went off in this.
It's like, yo, where's your weapons of mass destruction?
Not only that, what happened to you know right before anything happened, you start seeing military personnel flying everywhere. None of that.
Yeah.
I understand. Yeah, they can take you by surprise, but when the first initial wave hit and what was that, Shanghai or whatever,
mm-hmm.
and it was on the TVs. Yeah, they might not have revealed what was really going on to regular citizens, but the military and government agencies knew something, that it was something of another world was attacking.
So let's try something new. I want to break this movie down in segments because again, it was a great movie. Let's just start off with the invasion really quickly.
I mean, that's what we just was talking about.
But yeah,
I mean,
the funniest thing to me about the whole invasion was literally the restaurant scene.
You talking about when the phone rang?
Yes. Bro, you had somebody, first of all, they see the thing, like they all run into this restaurant.
But they didn't know that it.
Yeah.
Just here. They didn't
but see,
know.
the thing was, what was oddly enough, right? He was like trying to make sure like everybody be quiet. So again, they didn't think that they were in there. Mm-hmm. You got the bull underneath the table praying. He's like, listen, bro, you just gonna have to shut up.
I mean, he shut him up, literally.
Yeah. Then the girl, when they first went in the restaurant, she was on the phone, but she couldn't get them. But I guess the person called them back.
Yeah.
And that's when all hell broke loose.
But you know what's crazy about this? They have some type of signal jamming technology too.
Really? Okay.
And I think it's because it helps them hear that they have to drown out those signals. Because notice the radio station started messing up when they first arrived. And the cell phone, like when she was trying to talk to her mom, everything went out.
That could have been because
they messed with the airwaves.
They could have knocked out the radio.
Was the mom? Remember, the mom called back.
Oh yeah.
You still had service. It was just they messing with the wave frequencies. I guess you want to say.
People got
you see their ears.
yeah,
Jones.
weird looking. You know what I also realized, yo, like that people got wrecked. Like in the first one, right? You have the mom stepping on the nail going through her foot or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, and you only seen one person get slashed really violent on the first one. The son that just got picked up and took it away.
Yeah.
The old man that was yelling and screaming, you seen them slice him up.
Yeah.
Other than that, you didn't see much on the first one. And then the dad at the end.
But this one,
whew, you seen it left and right.
People flying. Yo, them things, they look, I'm not going to say they're like spiders, but like.
They looked a little gangly. Like the things from Stranger Things a little bit.
Okay, yeah.
And also,
don't they like something from like Resident Evil?
Yeah, I was gonna say that too. But it's weird because most of their head is made of ears on both sides, and the things open and close for the ears to hear. And then they have teeth, a whole lot of teeth, and then they also have sharp needles on their arms.
Yeah, claws
to slice through everything.
Bruh, I thought they were gonna die. I thought they was gonna do a spin on the movie where like they just die because when young boy got his foot caught in a bear trap. This is what blew my mind first. His adrenaline was pumping so much that he didn't know at first,
and that's what made me mad about this
because he said, and
and then when he started screaming, I'm like, yeah. First of all, you've been around too much stuff to now all of a sudden be screaming through physical pain.
I mean, bear traps can break bones.
Yeah, but it's the fact. I don't care if you broke a bone. You know what's at stake. It's either you die or you live right here. You don't scream. I don't care if somebody shoots your arm off. You don't scream. Nothing,
bro. He was screaming like crazy.
And then even after she covered his mouth, he still kept screaming like, yo.
Like that was the type of scream, right? You know what this reminded me of?
I'm sorry. If I was the mom, you could get knocked out. You go night for a moment.
You don't. Well, I mean, you didn't really grow up with siblings. You have siblings, but you didn't like really grow up with them like I did. So like, if I was like do something like push my sister or whatever the case may be, and like she start crying, and I put my don't cry. That's what it was. That's what it reminded me of. Chill, don't cry. Don't tell mommy. Relax. Because yo,
but I'm sorry, the son in this was stupid multiple
times. Agreed. The whole going upstairs, the whole thing with the oxygen, not paying attention to that.
Got himself locked in the room, all that. All because he didn't listen. What did she tell you? Stay down there. First of all, she told you don't come up to begin with. You came up trying to go after her. And then you came back up later. Mm-hmm. Like, keep your butt where it's at.
Yeah. I mean, then we have the daughter who goes off.
I mean, she was smart because she knew what she was doing. Mm-hmm. Only downside, you can't hear nothing that's really going on. So that makes it bad for you. You need somebody that can hear to help, to protect. And honestly, with her weapon of choice, honestly, I thought it was a two-person thing. One person to shoot, her to use thing.
Yeah. But it definitely worked. That it works. It works to the point where it gives the person, it gives you the opportunity to kill it.
Well, notice when it was something with bigger bass and better speakers, they couldn't run forward like how they were trying to with the small.
Yeah, because remember when the first one, when they would hear it, the interference, they would just dart off somewhere.
Yeah, whereas, I mean, they either would run off, dart somewhere, or like how in the basement the thing started charging towards them at the end because it wasn't loud enough. It wasn't enough bass. But you see once she got to the radio tower, and you had the bigger speakers, and you had multiple speakers, it was strong enough to keep the thing from coming forward at all.
I wanted a little bit more explanation of these boat people. I'm gonna call them the boat people because this is where they were.
But remember, he talked about this before when they were down in the bunker. Why he told them they gotta go, and then he was saying that y'all haven't seen all the people out here that they've lost it, like literally, going crazy. Yeah, and you can see the eyes are blood red. They all were
using
crazy.
Children as
but bait. You see how the child looked messed up.
Child looked crazy.
They all lost it. I mean, and that's in a way kind of realistic because you see some people, you think it's not really hardly anybody left in this world. Mm-hmm. Some of the people are going to lose it and go crazy. And then who knows what these creatures, any kind of chemicals or anything that they have with them, coming from wherever they came from.
So right now we know, when the first one we knew that one of the weaknesses of these monsters was the sound. We also learned that these motherfuckers can't swim.
Yeah, at all. Which begs to differ: does everybody on islands survive, or did some of them land on the island?
See, that's a very, very great.
But I have about 5 major questions that need to be answered with a possible third one.
Which
he's
found
talking
out
about possibly.
They have ideas for a third one.
We gotta wait to see if they do a third one. Where did they come from?
Okay.
Like, is it another planet? Was this an experiment going wrong?
Okay.
Because, I mean, it could have been an experiment going wrong, and they sent the experiment out of space trying to get rid of it, and then it came back tenfold. What, like, where did it come from, experiment or whatever? 2, what happened to the government? Because, I mean, there's a few scenarios to me. Either they attacked military bases first and jammed signals so they couldn't call out to other bases and all that. Mm-hmm. That's a possibility of why we didn't see the government.
True, because the government literally in these first 2 movies was MIA.
Yeah, because, I mean, the only thing we heard was them talking about on day 1 when they realized about they couldn't swim, that the Coast Guard was told to start getting people on boats. And then what happened there. My third part would be, what's next now then for them? Like, now that you have multiple weaknesses known, what are they going to do now to attack?
How can you continue this? I mean, like you said.
I mean, there's a lot of ways to continue. You got either we're going to go back further, origin story in a way, what led them to this country, why are they attacking? Because there's got to be some motive. Or are we going to go to now staying with the current time, attacking back, defending the country, what's left of this country, and the world, and it's defending. Are they going to do this like Skyline, where now we're going to take the fight to them? We didn't attack everybody on the planet. Now we're taking the fight to the mothership or whatever. And my 5th question is, what is wrong with some of these people and their thinking? Dude said run on the island, and everybody just standing around looking. The ship come crashing down, everybody at the baseball game, we're just going to keep looking for a while. The moment I seen that thing coming out of... Let's go. So, come on, we out.
So their defense, at the baseball game, once they seen this, they didn't run. They was like, yeah, this don't look right. And everybody started to roll out.
Yeah, they started walking and talking in the car. No, we taking off. Get to the car, we going. Ain't no talking, ain't no chit-chat, none of that. And then you had people out the street at the bar still looking. No, we at vehicle was gone. And then what happened? Moment everybody's looking around, police car gets smacked.
Bro, why is it that, right? And again, it's just Hollywood. I know it is, right? But, like, why is it that in most movies and shows and stuff like that, when stuff, like, you need to get out, the car won't start, the keys won't work to your door.
But that's real life, honestly. Because you can't guarantee something like that's going to happen to somebody's vehicle or something like that.
Like, bro, your car was just working perfectly fine 30 minutes ago.
But you know one thing that was sad? The guy that played the cop, and ironic at the same time, the guy that played the cop in the second one, he also plays on Station 19 as a firefighter. Mm-hmm. And it's crazy because on Station 19, he's battling against the cops right now because of the whole Black Lives Matter and all that. And it's funny seeing him as a cop on this.
Gotcha.
Playing a different role. And I feel bad for him because he got sliced up trying to use that shotgun.
Bro,
the first shot ain't do nothing. Nope. I dipped behind the car.
That joint did not work.
He sacrificed his life.
Now, another question, like I said, we had this conversation before we wrap this up here. The first child, and when they showed the when they showed the flashback of day 1, mm-hmm. he seemed partially deaf as well.
Possible. Or he could just be trying to sign for the daughter and all that. Who knows? Or he might be having hearing problems, growing deaf, anything.
Yeah. So, I mean, we can learn a little bit more about the family as well.
Yeah. I mean, he couldn't be completely deaf, though, because he had shit.
Yeah. He could have been probably partial, though.
I still remember that part from the first one.
Bro, I think that's stupid. What hooked me. And the thing about the first one, with them not what you said, 83 seconds, 81 seconds of talk time. You have to be such a great actor because you have to show emotions without talking, your body language.
Not only that, that had to be some great cut scenes and all of that, because to have over an hour plus of a movie where you're really not talking, it's just movements and stuff. That takes a lot.
Yo,
right?
and
To
when
direct.
and what was dope about this one is when we were basically in the eyes or the point of view of the deaf girl, where it was just like when she was standing in the middle of the street and all she just seen people running, it was just nothing but silence. That was so dope.
Yeah,
that was so dope.
The only thing that made me mad about her this one was when she thought the guy took off with everything and ran. She's just outside crying. Like, okay, so we ain't got these creatures that are surrounding can hear the smallest amount of water and cries.
Yeah.
And you out here crying like that. And covered up so you can't see nothing coming. I'm like,
or she can't hear. So
I'm like, But what is wrong with this little girl here? You talk about you being so smart and brave, and you're doing this.
They showed their bravery for the most part.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I gotta see a third one where the fight is taken back to the. Gotta fight back.
I wouldn't mind the third one if it's done correctly.
Because I know most of the military personnel is not all going. Some had to go down in bunkers where it's soundproof and all that. And what happened in using music studios and all that? Because a lot of those muffle the sound, and they could reinforce it where it's completely soundproof.
Mm-hmm. Now, so far, what they're a year and some change in?
Yeah, almost a year and a half.
Yeah, 474 days.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they're a year and some change in. So we shall see, man. If the third one, if they do a third one, and if it links up and makes sense, it's gonna be a great series.
One other thing I wanted to know about what about people in the air that was in airplanes and helicopters and that? Because we know those things can jump, but they can't jump like all the way up there.
I get what you're saying.
Do they have fighter planes and stuff too that's shooting these planes down? Because the people that's in the air should technically survive. They don't have no other way of attacking them. It's just what happens when we run out of fuel.
I mean, if you live on a remote island and there's nothing there, then you're absolutely good.
I mean, you gotta just survive on the
Yeah.
island, but that's the interesting part.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a couple of avenues they can take on this. But what are your guys' opinion on this? What do you think is next? And also, how did you feel about everything that was broken down in the second one? Let us know in the comments below. And until next time.